Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Good morning. We are here with Mr. Vance Morris, one of my favorite people in the world. How are you doing, Mr. Morris?
I am doing great, and the crowd goes wild.
And the crowd goes wild. Yeah, so we met a couple of years ago, have only actually been in the same room together like once, I think.
I believe you're right. No, twice.
Yeah.
I was at a
Yes, you
luncheon,
came down
and
for a
then I
luncheon.
was at one of your networking events.
Yeah, you came down and spoke, which was wonderful. So, but it's amazing how much of a friendship we have actually, created just through talking virtually. It's amazing. It's amazing. Isn't technology great?
Yeah, no, I love it, and it's nice to be on the horn, so to speak, with people that get it.
Yeah.
Because I live in a town of 1,700 people, and I think 1,698 of them don't get it. So
don't get it. I think that's hysterical. Now you own a couple of different businesses, but let's focus in on the one that I know you best for, which is Deliver Service Now Institute. You're a speaker, you do workshops, you have a mastermind that all centers around customer experience. Tell me why you got into that particular industry.
Sure. Well, as you know, audience might not, I spent a little over a decade working for the Mouse, the Disney company down in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always taken everything that was literally my first real job out of college. And I've taken everything that I learned there and applied it in other companies that I worked for and in my own businesses. And what I have found is that the experience is really the secret sauce to creating customers for life or raving fans for life. And I'm not one of those marketing people that talk about, here's give me $40, I'll get you 10,000 likes by Monday afternoon. And, I'm not a lead gen guy by any stretch. I can do it one-offs, but really creating the experiences, I'm doing it selfishly because I'm tired of going to places and the experiences are crap. I just can't enjoy myself. If you ask my wife, there's not many restaurants I can go to where I just don't pick the place apart unconsciously and then consciously. So it's bad.
I'm with you. Any service-based business.
But it is the secret sauce. It is the separator for every business out there. If you look at, like, I hear the complaint all the time, oh my God, I can't find good people to work. I can't find good people to work. And I'm like, well, that's bull donkey, because if you look at the typical town, they usually have a McDonald's and they have a Chick-fil-A. Okay. Just about every town in America has both of them.
And a Starbucks.
This is true. But they all draw from the same applicant base, which is the local high school. And McDonald's, they can barely get you to grunt at them. You don't know what they're saying through the drive-through, squawk box. And Chick-fil-A can get them to say, please, thank you, my pleasure. It's not the people. It's the culture and the training and, how the business operates that dictates how the experiences go. And, and if you think, okay, well, that's nice, they're pleasant, yada, yada, yada. What's that to me? Well, it's money. Your average Chick-fil-A is doing over $8 million a year, closed one day of the week. And your average McDonald's is doing about $5 million a year. And some of them open 24 hours. So there's a huge correlation between the experience you deliver, the retention you get, and then your profitability.
Yeah. And anybody who's been in business for a half a second has heard and knows it's much easier to retain a customer, upsell a customer, get a warm referral from a customer than it is to go out and find a new one. It's less
And it's cheaper.
expensive. Yeah. So why don't we spend more time on our own customer experience?
Because
It baffles me.
we're all brainwashed into thinking that we need new all the time.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
if you look at your Flakebook feed, those of us in this kind of business, you're going to see 26 ads for somebody who can do some kind of lead generation for you. Uh,
Mhm.
whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, Google, whatever it is, here's
Mhm.
26 ways from Sunday to get a new customer.
Right.
Nobody's talking about where the real money is about um, customer experience and keeping customers or customer retention.
Mhm.
And I think really that real reason is we don't think about it. We make assumptions that if we do a good job, our customers should remember us. And that
Mhm.
is so far from the truth. One, doing a good job is just entry into the marketplace. I
Mhm.
mean, that's basic.
And
Uh,
expected.
yeah, and expected.
Mhm.
And if you think that your customers are going to remember you, forget it. It's not your customer's job to remember you. It's your job as the business owner to remind the customer you even exist. And
Mhm.
maybe 100 years ago, when there was only one plumber in town, it was easy to remember that guy because there was only one. Now, I mean, we probably have 7 or 8 plumbers in our little town, and I couldn't tell you who to call.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who the last one was that was in my house because I've never heard from them again.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, and that actually correlates to networking. Like I find that customer experience, like it's just people experience.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like it baffles me that I'll go to networking events or I'll meet somebody online or I'll even have a one-on-one with somebody and then never hear from them again. Yeah.
It's stupidity.
It-
It's stupidity, it's laziness, it's sloth. It's again, you should remember me because I gave you my business card.
that doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way.
No.
I belong to a couple of different networking groups, and I am thoroughly amazed at the number of people that stay in touch with me
Mhm.
after an initial like one-to-one or virtual coffee or whatever. I can count on one hand the number of people, and I've had hundreds of these things.
Yeah.
People just don't, it's the follow-up
Yeah.
that is important. You're not bothering people. So, can you
Mhm.
automate it? Sure. Does it lessen the impact? No. For my networking folks,
Mhm.
that are not on my regular email list,
Mhm.
they get an email from me every other week.
Yeah.
Just a update. Hey, here's what's going on with Vance. Hey, here's some, something going on in the world you should know about. We'll help you with your business. If we haven't met in a while, here's the calendar link. Nobody does that. It's so easy to do.
It's
I
so
don't get it.
easy. Yeah, and I enjoy your emails. I'm on all your lists because your
Oh,
emails
geez.
are hysterical and they're value filled, so it's always a joy to get those. And I think that's important when you think about if you're sending out a newsletter, if you're sending out emails, like don't make them boring and don't make them
Well, yeah.
salesy, like have it tell a story and yeah,
But
have some value.
and the only time, again, if you need to be remembered and you want referrals, since we're talking networking, this is active participation. It's
Yeah.
not passive, right? You got to do something.
Mhm.
If you're just sitting back waiting for somebody to dump a referral in your lap, you're going to be sitting there for a long time.
Yeah,
You've got to engineer them. You've got to continue to deliver value to people. Otherwise, you will be forgotten.
absolutely. All right, let's get back to your business now. I know
Oh,
that you are a speaker. So tell me a little bit about what you go out and speak on, because I know that you help a lot of business owners. Tell me a little bit about that.
yeah. So most of it is on customer experience and customer retention. I have a framework that's called Systematic Magic: 7 Magic Keys to Disneyfy Your Business. And it's I have a book of that title. So I'm trying to be congruent through everything. And I refer to those magic keys when I speak, when I write, because they're just brain dead simple. And it's
Mhm.
stuff that has made the Disney company as big and as great as it is,
Mhm.
politics aside.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, this is perfect. This is what I've done in my own businesses. I mean, you mentioned I have some home service businesses. So if I can Disneyfy a carpet cleaning business or a mold company, there isn't a business under the sun that can't do this. So when I'm speaking to audiences, whether it's a workshop or whether it's main stage, it's not a fluff-filled rah-rah, oh, kumbaya, everybody will feel good, and then you'll forget everything at the end. I want you taking notes, and I want you taking not only notes, but action items. What are you going to take from this presentation and go home that day and implement? Because otherwise, you go to these things and, you feel good, you feel energized. Okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to do something. And then, the next morning comes and you're like, well, I guess I'll get a cup of coffee and what the hell happens now? I mean, those are the ones that I like to do. I mean, I do keynotes because they pay well, but I much prefer to do a keynote plus workshop or just workshop because one, I know I can deliver value. Two, people can ask questions and we can formulate a plan for them to go and implement.
Yeah. And I would imagine that even your keynotes leave people with actionable items.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's how they're designed because like I said, I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't pretend to be one. So yeah.
Yeah. Other than motivating people to do the right thing
this is true. Yes.
by their customers and get it going. All right. So if you were going to tell people, new business owners or business owners that have been in business for, 5 years, 6 years, what would be one really key thing that you've learned about customer experience just to implement right away? Simple thing to implement.
Answer your phone live.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like my answer for everything because so many people don't do it. I mean, if you're a solopreneur, I get it. It's not easy, especially if you're in a service business. So, let's take the carpet cleaner. If you're in Mrs. McGillicuddy's house and you're cleaning carpet and the phone rings, okay, well, do you stop working and, you have your client looking over your shoulder and you're on the phone? Okay, well, what message is that sending? Or you ignore the phone, it goes to voicemail, and you hope to God that they're going to be around at the end of the day when you retrieve your voicemail. These days, I think I've told you I'm partner in a call center, and we called almost 5,000 home service businesses in the U.S. Only 18% answered the phone live.
Wow. And
we got their phone numbers from Google pay-per-click. So you are paying to have your phone number out there and you're not answering. You're losing money.
Big time. Yeah, big time. That's crazy. That is craziness. Okay, let's get to some networking things. Now let's take that same principle and apply it to networking. So first of all, do you call people that you've met? Like, do you actually physically call them to try to get them on the phone, or do you email them, or what do you do? You do.
Oh yeah. So, I mean, people that I met, there's I got, used the 3 methods available to me, which is email, text, and the phone. There's nobody close enough for me to drive to. Otherwise I might do that. But yeah, it's consistent follow-up until you get the meeting. And if it's somebody who I think I could do business with, or what in the industry we would call a whale, I will immediately go into direct mail promotions, lumpy mail, gifts, coffee, I mean, you name it, until they tell me to go away or I get the meeting.
Yeah, that is another thing, underutilized asset that everyone has access to. The U.S. Postal Service, FedEx, UPS,
Postal Service has got a better deliverability rate than most emails providers.
Exactly. And it's amazing how much we don't get mail anymore. So when we get something that's actually from somebody instead of a promotional thing or from a credit card company, it actually gets read. It's 100% open rate. 100% open rate. Yeah.
100. Yeah. Now we don't know if it's getting read, but if it is entertaining, there's a good
Yeah.
likelihood that that's happening as well. Yeah, I mean, physical mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're activating other human senses.
Yeah.
You know, you've got touch and you've got smell, especially. You know, I mean, these
Yeah.
are all different things, and just with electronic, you're not activating really anything. It's more like, oh, look, delete, delete, delete. You can't delete a physical piece of mail.
No, you
You
can't.
actually have to hold on to it, look at it, and make a conscious decision whether you're going to open and read this thing or whether you're going to chuck it. I mean, email, it's
Yeah.
a click.
Yeah. Either way, even if you don't read it or don't read it word for word, you recognize that someone took the time to send it.
100%.
And
Yep.
that happened. That registers in your brain and in your heart. I think it makes
It does,
a big
and
difference.
that's, speaking of heart, I mean, that's where you get the most bang for your buck with retention, whether it be retaining clients or retaining referral partners, is creating an emotional connection.
Yeah.
And if you can't or don't want to create an emotional connection, well, again, you're going to be sitting there lonely, because that's how people work. I'm not saying you got to take them to dinner or date them or something like that, but you got to, if you make an impression on somebody at a live event and you shake hands and you have a good solid conversation, you need to build on that. And, hey, remember when, we talked about this and, and your daughter was doing this. I hope she had a great recital. You have to continue that emotional connection. And if you don't, again, you'll be forgotten.
Yeah, you'll be forgotten. And a stamp doesn't cost that much.
No, it's still only about 70 cents, I think. I don't know, give or take.
Yeah. Yeah. And handwriting is just a wonderful, wonderful way to say that you care.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I've told you this before. I mean, we do handwritten thank you letters for all of our carpet cleaning clients and et cetera. And it's gotten unwieldy. I can't do it anymore because I'd be writing 100 of these things every week, and I just don't have 5 or 6 hours to dedicate to it.
Yep.
I went out and rented grandmas.
Yeah.
We got 3 ladies down at the senior center, and I buy them donuts and coffee. They sit there and they handwrite all my thank you letters.
Oh, it's so great.
It's you just got to think outside the box a little bit.
Think outside the box. If you network for your business, you already know follow-up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing. Most of us want to follow up well. We just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use Neteffect.io. It makes follow-up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow-up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, Neteffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. Neteffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow-up. So let's talk about some networking. How has networking played a part, specifically in your speaking and your kind of, I don't really want to call you a coach because you're so much more than that, but like in that side of your business, how much has networking played?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, I would say probably 85-90% of my business is been through referrals / networking, or networking / referrals, whichever
whichever you go
before the egg, whatever you want. And it truly is the follow-up, again, talking follow-up, with people. I mean, my sales cycle can be as long as 2 or 3 years for some of my products or, events. If I'd stopped following up after 3 attempts or maybe even 12 attempts, that would be a year. I'd be leaving a lot of money on the table. So it's vital that you get people into some kind of cadence of communication. Yeah, I mean, networking has been huge. I mean, you take every opportunity you can. I mean, the whole way I got into doing my Disney events was through a mastermind meeting. I'm sitting in a group. It was a Dan Kennedy mastermind, and it was like 10 or 11 of us there, and we're going around the table. What do you do? How do you do it? Blah blah blah. And at the lunch break, I had a guy come up to me, very successful business coach to orthodontists. And he said, you know what? I would pay you to take me and my group around Disney. Now that was back in 2013.
Wow.
And Kennedy looks right at me and he says, well, it looks like you got a new business. And so I just went from there. I took his group. He paid me to take his group around Disney. And that's how the whole Making the Magic Disney events were created. So it was from networking.
That is a great story. That is wonderful. Now, I know that you go to some masterminds. I know you host a mastermind, and I know that you also live in a town of, what'd you say, 1,800 people?
1,700. Don't exaggerate.
Don't exaggerate, 1,700 people. So probably not a lot of in-person networking events happening in your little town.
Zero.
So you do 100% of your networking really online and going to different places. So tell me, a lot of people are not, I hear this all the time. I can't network online. I can't network online. But what's the secret? How do you do so well doing it virtually?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of live and virtual. Pre-COVID, it was a lot live. I mean, you just attend industry events, you attend conferences, and you've got to have a goal or a mission when you go to those things. Like I'm going to come away with 3 whales, or I'm going to meet 10 people that, I can support and they can support me. And I approach virtual networking, Zooms, etc., the same way. I go to a networking meeting and my goal is to get one connection that will move my business forward. And without that goal, it would just be another show up and, hi, how are you? I drink my coffee, and, you listen to a couple of people yap on, and maybe there's some good content, maybe not, but I got to have something tangible at the end of every networking call. Every single one. And if I don't, I'll give it a second chance. If I don't get one from the second chance, I don't go to that networking event anymore.
Yeah. And tangible isn't always necessarily a client. It could be,
like I said,
a referral partner, somebody else.
Yeah. Move my business forward, referral partner, somebody who offers support services that I need. Great example would be, relying on you to introduce me to some VAs that can help me in my businesses. So you're not a client. I'm actually a client of yours. I think that's how that works. But I consider it more of a relationship. Yes, there's money being exchanged, but I think of it more of a relationship of, I can reach out to Melissa. She knows people. So that's a resource for me. And
absolutely,
she knows people that I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Okay. So now you mentioned something that I think a lot of people fail to realize when they go to, sometimes they have to get outside their own backyard. They need to go to conferences. They need to go to industry events. They have to actually travel, spend money, buy the ticket, get on a plane, go to a hotel to really get in front of the right people to network. How do you choose what makes the most sense for you?
Well, I certainly look at who's the host, first of all. That says a lot. And then who is the audience? That also says a lot, whether I'm speaking or whether I'm just going. And I'm like, okay, and what are the opportunities to connect with people? If it looks disorganized or looks too small, I probably won't go. But I rarely go for just the content. So, I mean, even if it's a lead generation seminar or something along those lines, it doesn't interest me, but I know that there's going to be a lot of people there that will make great marketing agencies make great referral partners for me because they focus on the front end and I focus on everything after the fact. Once you get the customer, now what do you do with them? So,
Right.
it's just looking at the who and who's in the, well, it's the who's the host, who's in the audience. And if it makes sense, unless it's something I'm dying to learn about, those are really the two things I look at. And yes, you mentioned money. It is an investment, but nothing beats in person. Nothing.
Right.
Hands down. And it's not the conference, it's the toilet breaks and the lunch breaks and the meeting at the bar. That's where the real conversations happen, not at, you can't talk in the middle of a conference because you're interrupting the speaker. So you got to wait for the break to talk to the guy who, oh, look, he looks interesting. So.
Yeah, I've been known not to even go to the sessions and just hang out in the lobby and in the
Oh,
hallway.
yeah. Well, you know what? You can do that and not even have to pay to attend the darn conference. Just hang out in the darn lobby. I've done that before too. That's
I haven't done that.
I am not afraid to admit that. I have done it.
Well, you've given us a lot of advice on providing value to people, staying connected with people, following up with people. Let's do a little rapid fire. First thing that comes to your mind when I ask you a couple of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Maybe the first thing that comes to your mind. Well, this is
I should
rated
focus
PG. There we go.
PG, gotcha.
Okay. What's your number one tip for starting a conversation when you're at an event?
Smile and shake hands firmly. No limp, soggy fish handshakes. They're the worst. But you got to have, and not the stupid grin. You got to have, just a natural smile. Don't look like a sourpuss. Just, how you doing? Positive outlook, firm handshake.
Yeah. Okay, great. All right. One more question, then I'll let you get back to your day.
No, you're fine.
How do you get out of a difficult conversation or one that's just yattering on and on and on, and you're just like, I just got to kind of separate from this, even if it's a great conversation and possibly a good connection for later on?
I always say, you know what, my purpose for coming to these is, for me to meet as many people as possible. I've really enjoyed talking with you. Here's my calendar link, or give me your calendar link. I'd really love to, continue the conversation, but I got to go meet more people.
Okay.
It's the truth, and it's not hurting anybody's feelings. It's, this is my goal. Again, you got to have a goal when you go to these things, and if I sit with one person, well, I didn't hit my 10-person goal.
Yeah. And I think having that scorecard, so to speak, like knowing, okay, I need to, if there's 100 people there, I'm going for 10. Like I really need to meet 10. If there's 10 people there, you're going for maybe 1 or 2, like having it proportionally sized to what the size of the event is. That's great. But like you said, making sure that you don't leave empty-handed, so to speak.
Yeah, that's a horrible feeling.
Yeah, that is a horrible, physical waste of time.
And there are duds out there. Don't get me wrong. I've been to events and it's just like, oh crap, why am I here? Yeah, these are not my people, not my audience. You know what? Can I change my flight and come home early? Yeah,
been there, done that. Absolutely. All right. So I lied. One last question. What tool do you use to keep track of your follow-up? How do you keep track of all the people that you meet and your current referral partners? Sure. How do you keep track of all that?
You got to have a great CRM, customer relations management tool. I think that's what CRM stands for.
I think so. Yeah.
But you got to have one and you got to use it. And I'm not going to name products because everybody wants their own and that different needs, but this is impossible to do. Well, not impossible, but would be extremely difficult to do without a CRM where you can have prospect information, client information, what are the contact points, how have they been, what have you sent out as far as mail or email, and tracking really everything, likes and dislikes. We even do this in the carpet business. We got a box in the profile for the customer. Are they a dog person or a cat person or other? Because there's nothing like a dog person getting cat advertisements. It just lands flat. You got to know who your audience is. And I have a horrible memory. I can't remember. Hell, I can barely remember people's names, let alone their likes and dislikes. So having a system where I can Okay, let me call up all of the dog people. Oh, great, there they are, and I can send them a consistent message. Or, who are the top 5 podcasts I've been on? I can call up the 5 podcast hosts that I also. I mean, everybody goes in there. Doesn't matter what I do. Everybody goes into that CRM.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I use the CRM, and I put the minutest notes in there, like crazy. Like some people will be like, why do you care that she had a red shirt on? Because that makes me remember visually who it was.
Right.
Yeah. It's just crazy notes in there. Well, I have really enjoyed this. How do people get in touch with you if they want you to come speak at their event, or they want to find out about your masterminds or your programs?
Yeah. So the website is easy. It's vancemorris.com. And it's kind of a choose your own adventure there, depending on what you're looking for. And if it's okay, I have a free gift for everybody.
Oh, great.
Which is 52 ways to wow your customer. So 1 wow for every week of the year. And you can find that at wow52ways.com. So wow, the numbers 52ways.com.
Perfect. And we'll also make sure we put that in the show notes.
All right.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.